How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Hey everybody, welcome to Night of the Living podcast. It's Podcaster's Choice, the final, the best.
The final.
Oh, we Vanessa Williams you.
Mm-hmm.
We saved the best for last.
Y'all hear that? Mm-hmm. It's Amy. Hi. We're going to talk about my choice today.
She was in Penthouse.
That's right.
I'm going to Google that right now.
Please do. That would be important for my show, for that to happen.
Damn, Vanessa. I'm just kidding. I didn't see it yet.
Let me introduce to you my best friends in the whole wide world. My brothers from other mothers. We'll start with my husband.
Your brother husband?
My brother husband.
Brother husbands.
Freddy.
Hello.
Oh.
Love you.
I love you. I had 2 bagels this morning.
Oh, dear.
So I'm going to start falling asleep soon, I think.
We got my friend Kelley, who forgot about Dre.
I'm so sorry. I didn't watch the movie this week, listeners, because I thought it was listener feedback.
It's a good thing. It was Peggy who got married.
I put together. I put together 5 news pieces.
He just denied my existence
I can read those
in the universe.
like in betwixt the the review.
Maybe don't. Mikey.
Hi, Amy.
You got me drunk on caipirinhas last night.
Caipirinha. I made a Brazilian caipirinha.
You gave Amy a Brazilian?
Yeah, you did.
And an American style
Oh.
caipirinha.
What was the American style? The one with the oranges?
The one you dispreferred.
The one I dispreferred?
Yes.
You unpreferred?
You preferred it. The one with more fruit.
Oh,
more
I know.
sugar. Less lime.
More sugar and it's American. I don't understand.
I love a caipirinha.
Andy, hi.
Oh,
There was a lot of that.
it's a clue to what you're going to expect this whole show.
Lots of share refs.
I wish I'd watched. I wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
funny thing. I've
still
never
should.
seen it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, and I wanted to watch it.
We're going to talk about mermaids.
Mermaids.
It really hit me hard, but we'll talk about it later.
You know what's funny?
All right, Andy, tell
Naked
the
ladies.
listeners. Tell the listeners what you're doing.
I had to Google Vanessa Williams Penthouse, and I'm just giggling like a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
Was she Miss America or Miss USA?
I can't remember.
She was misbehaving.
Because it's a very important distinction I've learned by watching Miss Kenya Moore on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Don't call her fucking Miss America or Miss USA or whatever one she isn't. Don't call her out her name.
It's Miss USA if you nasty.
Okay. Since it's my show, we're going to talk about things I love.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. I don't know.
We're going to talk about me.
Andy!
She was Miss America.
Oh, okay. So there you go, everybody. Does that solve all your problems? Andy, are you straight now?
She's Miss Rim Job, apparently. Because that's what I'm looking at.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, Dean.
Oh, dear.
The first run-up to Miss Rim Job is... If you can't perform your duties as Miss Rim Job, then the first run-up will take your place.
No one's lining up for that one.
Great. Fantastic. And then Freddy's going to talk about our roulette movie this week, and all of that housekeeping is taken care of. So let's banter.
So you guys watch the Olympics?
Mm-hmm. I have been. I love the Olympics.
I haven't watched any of it yet.
Mikey got the joke.
It was really good.
Wait, why was that?
He said Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics?
Get it? Because it takes place in Korea.
I get it now.
My white guilt wants
I
to remind
thought-
listeners that Andy is Chinese, and I guess he's allowed to make that joke, but I don't like it one
Wait,
bit.
I did not mean to stamp that joke.
Thank you.
I thought it was a rim job
Oh, okay.
reference.
I would've
that was
Oh,
Olympics.
Rimpex.
Oh,
It works
okay.
as a callback to your earlier joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it goes both ways.
I'm cleaning the...
kind of like
cleaning
Michelle
it.
Vanessa Williams.
Andy, I didn't get it because that's just the way you talk.
Yeah.
But I am watching the Olympics.
Maya Angelou on Oprah this week said I should get out of the room and walk out.
Was she a ghost on that podcast?
Yep.
What,
Weird. That's true. She's not here anymore.
Was it an old
It
recording?
just came out. No.
No, it's not. They just recorded it.
Does Oprah have like a line to the afterlife?
She might.
She has Thomas Edison's phone to the dead.
Dionne Warwick was
it's-
also on the show.
It's like the Winchester house, only it's the Winfrester house. Because she's Oprah Winfrey. You get it?
I get it.
She wants you to walk out when you hear things that aren't up to your standards.
Mm-hmm. She says you should have a place in your heart where if somebody crosses it, you just get up and go. Or you say, grab your purse and get out. Goodbye.
Purse first.
Bye.
Purse first. That's
Purse first.
That's what my
Freddie.
Angela created.
You're welcome.
Leave that house
Freddie.
purse first.
Yeah.
Is that
Too
why
Freddie.
everybody leaves the room when I talk?
Yeah.
It's
You're
when you
rotten.
fart.
She said
You're
it's
a rotten person.
poison on your walls.
So I'm going to tell this story because it's near and dear to my heart. My doggies are my children. And so I tried to take Millie for a vet appointment this week just to get her updated vaccinations. She's going to be aborted, so she needs a flu shot because they're requiring it right now because the flu's bad. It's bad for dogs. It's bad for people. It's just bad. So I take her to the vet. I think we're going to be fine. And they want to do a heartworm test, which means they have to take blood. And Millie lost her goddamn mind. She's like, nuh-uh, I will bite your entire face off. So the doctor's like, well, let's try this. I'm going to give you a prescription for doggy Xanax. Do you know what doggy Xanax is?
Well, you told me it's real human Xanax.
It's people stuff.
Didn't you say it was Valium?
It is actually, it's diazepam that they gave me, but
Oh, okay.
Millie has her own account at CVS now. The little bottle
Does
says
she
Millie
get-
Morris.
Does she get CVS perks or whatever?
I would assume
Rewards?
so.
Does she have a rewards card?
It I got a little text notification that says, Millie, your prescription is ready. I just think it's so cute.
You should have just replied to it. Bark, bark, bark. bark.
They asked me what birthday I wanted to
It's
put
like,
on the
ma'am, I need you to
account.
calm down. Bark, 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 bark. Ma'am, I'm just trying to help you. Bark, 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 bark.
She's like,
Look, we'll cover most things if you're just a little bit more patient with me. Thank you for calling Cobra.
so we're testing the Valium today. So I
Call
gave
back to
Millie
something nobody heard.
her
thought it
her
was
Valium about 40 minutes ago or so, probably about an hour. So at this point, she should be good and stoned.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just really excited.
Did you get it's like a dose is 4 pills, right?
Yeah, of whatever so 40
Okay.
milligrams she got today.
Sounds like a lot.
I know, but that's what I read I read the label carefully.
I wonder why they're splitting that up over 4. Is there a doggy reason?
Doggone it, I don't know.
Oh.
So I'm really excited. They said some dogs have an opposite reaction than the one you expect.
Oh,
so either she
no.
hulks out
Yeah.
or she's real chill. I don't know which.
I'm trying to imagine her hulked out.
I know. You should have seen her at the
It's
vet.
nerve-wracking.
I know. When she gets stressed out, it's no joke. And I was like laying on her on the floor of the vet's office going, I'm your thunder shirt. I'm your thunder shirt. She's freaking her shit out.
We're gonna make a heartwarming movie called Thunder Shirt, and you're gonna repeat that throughout the movie.
I'll be all of your thunder shirts if you need it.
Thunder, thunder.
I'll sing a song with your name in it. That's
It's gonna
what I
be
was
a
doing as
metaphor.
well.
It's gonna be the dog's need for comfort is gonna be a metaphor for all our needs for comfort.
Yeah. They have those weighted blankets now.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to be nude when you do that for me.
Okay, that's not happening. I'm going to need Freddie that to be my thunder shirt because I will feel uncomfortable and unhappy.
So I can have 2 naked people on me?
Yeah, and then we can make a porn parody called Thunder Squirt.
Oh.
Or this ain't Thunder Shirt.
This ain't Thunder
Just
Shirt.
saying.
XXX.
XXX.
XX.
But Amy, my anxiety.
I know.
You
Has
won't
anybody tried one of those blankets?
They make them for people, don't
Yeah,
they?
Oh, yeah.
autistic kids love them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there's like rules for autistic kids. But now I'm seeing it I don't know if anybody else is getting advertised from like Instagram and all that other stuff. The calm blankets, they're real expensive.
I know. I've seen that. Like, I looked into them.
The like for kids that are autistic though, like you have to, and anxiety is really supposed to just be certain amounts of time, not every night, or it loses its effectiveness. So it's interesting that they're being able to charge as much as they are and
Yeah,
call
you
it a calming blanket.
You just
and-
add more weights, like the Salem Witch Trials.
You know,
More comfort blankets.
speaking of,
I've never seen a man take so many comfort blankets. Maybe he isn't guilty of witchery.
ugh.
More blankets.
Yikes.
You know.
Speaking of Instagram ads, again, I want to let everyone know they're listening to you.
I know.
I just quit Luxottica, who owns all the glasses in the world, and I started immediately getting ads. One of which that I made. I've never talked about it online to anyone.
You never searched it, Googled it?
Mm-mm.
Were you logged into Facebook or Instagram on your work computer when you were working?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't do that. So that's neat.
Yeah. Have you been Googling glasses at all?
No.
Have you Googled Google glasses?
Google glasses.
I've been getting advertisements for hair growth formula.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because I heard it hit a certain age, or if
Yep,
it's because
yep.
I'm like always looking for good beard tips.
Oh, you haven't seen the back of your head?
Oh.
That's not nice. Mikey has
Mikey
a
B
great...
has a lovely head of hair.
He's got a perfect head of hair.
It's glamorous.
Perfect head is what I think of every time you say Mikey B.
Hey, Mike, how's your head?
No complaints.
That's why I won't put a mirror on the ceiling in here, is I don't want to know.
No complaints.
What a feeling.
You got a perfect rating on Yelp.
We're pretty good.
For head.
Freddie, it's not lush, but it's not anything to worry about.
I don't know.
At the time.
You can't see my scalp back here at all?
I have
It's
a thin
not-
spot. My ex-wife used to tell me I had a bald spot, and then I saw it in...
That's the oldest sentence you've ever said.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been older than if you had said that Colin and Cole are looking at Shady Pines so that you can be more comfortable.
Yeah. I saw it in a three-way mirror, though.
Yeah.
It's just thin.
It's not bald.
She's mean.
Kinky. Yeah.
Do you cut a hole in your pillow so you don't rub it at night? How do you prevent?
Do they do that?
I don't know. I'm making shit up.
You can't prevent it.
Oh.
It's genetic.
It's just gonna happen.
It's like a massage table. You got a hole for your head.
Yeah.
Speaking of genetics, we bought Freddie's mom one of those 23andMe kits
Oh,
for her birthday
fun.
this week. So she just got it Friday, and we were there while she had to. You have to
Well,
spit into
Yeah.
a.
We thought it was going to be a swab, but
Yeah.
it's like a tube, and they're like, fill this.
Well, you don't have to quite fill it.
Can you fill
but-
it with semen?
Yeah. I mean,
they
anything with
prefer
DNA.
spit.
Well, that sounds like a porn parody. 23andMe.
I mean, either way.
23 in me.
It's like I'm gonna analyze your DNA. Fill me
spit
up
on,
with
spit on it.
yeah.
All right. Too dirty.
You have
Now
to
you've
spit on.
ruined it.
You have to spit on the clitoris.
Too dirty.
So we Shelby was like, we're sitting at the dining room table. I'm like, you'd have to go somewhere else.
Okay,
Just go somewhere else and do this.
Give us an idea of how big this vial was.
Well, the
that she
funny
had to
part
fill.
is when you get it, it looks like a test tube. You're like,
Yeah.
you have to fill that whole thing.
This is going to make me
no.
nauseous.
I
Like,
know.
they're-
like a regular
But-
test tube.
But when you look closer, there's a smaller
like a third of
ampule
it.
Okay.
inside of it.
That's still a lot of spit.
So we had to send her away.
Decent amount.
And she comes out and she goes, "Is this enough?" And I'm like, "I don't
I think
think
they
so."
said it was 2 teaspoons, I think is what it said.
I want to say something gross, and I want
Sorry.
to let the listeners the trigger warning.
Yeah.
If you're grossed out by things, no,
What
it's
if
okay.
you're sitting at the table? How do you respond to a trigger warning
just
and
walk
you're
out
at
the
the
door.
table?
I have goosebumps. But
Pull
go
up-
on.
Pull an Angelou.
Yeah,
My
pull
Angelou.
Oprah.
Get your purse.
Angelouing out.
I feel like you guys are going to agree with me on this.
Okay.
Like, I don't mind spit and things like that, like in a normal amount. But when I start to think about
A
like,
lot of it?
or like same with semen or anything like that, like a lot of it seems gross. But like in a regular amount, no props.
Right.
I think that's a pretty normal statement for
Sure.
Kelley.
All right. I just didn't want anybody to be
It's
like
not
start
like-
thinking
yeah.
about it and then get all weirded
It's
out.
not like a hot
Okay.
take. You know what's
Spicy
gross?
hot.
Well, I was also
a
trying
lot
to
of spit. That's gross.
That's a Carolina Reaper take.
I was trying to work on it. I was trying to say it in the least gross way
Yeah,
possible.
good.
Okay.
Somebody had to say it. A lot of semen is disgusting. I'm just gonna say it right now.
A lot of semen.
She's like,
Too much. Like there's just an amount that's too much.
Yeah.
At
so,
once.
So your mom's very excited to see her results in 6 to 8 weeks. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm either alien or human. Don't know. It was
I feel
adorable.
like everyone finds out they're Native American. I feel like that's what the
I had
Yeah.
I had a
probably.
coworker do it recently, and we were looking at his results, and it was super white, just white. There wasn't any.
Who was it?
Brad
It was Brad. Okay.
Brad Whiteford.
Whiteford. He puts together the playlist for White's Bop.
Yep.
Oh!
That's an inside joke for people who were hanging out with us last night.
We went to this Pacific fusion restaurant, and they were piping weird covers into the parking lot over their PA system.
Where is this place located?
It's in Montgomery.
It's by Go Bananas.
Oh, Go Bananas.
Yeah, it's right in the complex with the comedy club there, and they were playing just really
Beatles
weird
music, and there was another one, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, YMCA. Or no, they did a
Yeah, it was like it was YMCA, but it was performed by, it sounded like K-pop version of it, like teenage girls singing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just and then the Beatles cover, and we were joking around. It sounded like Kids Bop, and I'm like, but we have a bunch of white ladies, and I'm like, White's Bop.
White's Bop,
where you have white people record songs by non-white people for white people.
Isn't that just like rock music in general?
Shit! That is a Carolina Reaper take.
I'm Angelouing out.
No, I'm just saying they've been taking culture all the time.
You're right. You're not wrong.
It's more of a commentary on white people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, White's Bop.
Yeah.
White's Bop.
So they're taking their own music back.
Yeah.
Huh?
It was so
white people?
Yeah, they're taking the music that they took from other people.
They're taking the take.
Oof.
It's the third wave of stealing culture.
Yeah.
Cultural.
You
like the way that? Hey, Patreon, thank you so much for being a patron, y'all.
My babies.
I threw out Yo Jimbo. Me and Casey Criswell talking about classic samurai movies.
Hey, Casey from Bloody Good Horror.
Hey, Jimbo.
Yo. Hey, it's my Jimbo.
I know I'm 2 episodes behind on the X-Files, my X-Files series. I'm just lazy.
Well, we're getting ready to do a high five soon.
Yeah, we're going to do a high five
you
soon.
always say that.
No, we're going to...
You're like one of those dads that promises their kid they're going to Disney World every week.
Or have a catch. And they never do.
We are.
We're gonna have a catch in the yard.
We're gonna have a catch.
We're having a catch.
That's Andy said.
Would you like to have a catch?
Hey, Andy, was your dad sort of not there for you?
He's like, meet me on the basketball pitch.
Was he also British? Would you like to have a catch?
Look at him out there.
There's a Night of the Comic coming this week, a new one. They're going to record on Valentine's Day because they love each other.
Oh, is it going to be about love comics?
It's going to be about wrestling, I think.
Oh.
Common professional and comic books.
It applies.
Yeah,
there's a lot of wrestling going on Valentine's Day.
Yep. And there's a lot of crossover between comics and wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As it turns out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
So that'd be fun.
Are sort of like superheroes.
So a reminder, patreon.com/NOTLP. I know you got that extra $1.50. Send it our way.
Why you begging? Remember that from school? Why you begging all the time?
Get your own fries.
I remember Doo-Doo Brown.
That's the second week in a row we've talked about Doo-Doo Brown.
Maybe it was just me. Like, if you would ask to share something with somebody, I'd be like, why are you begging? Stop begging.
You know what I did recently, speaking of doo-doo?
Oh, gosh.
Our friend Esther posted a picture and
of doo-doo.
Of snow outside, and she was like, I don't know why it looks like this, no filter, but it's like very brown. And I started to put in the comments, I was searching for a gif of Dave Chappelle saying that's doo-doo baby. and eventually I found it, and I was like, nah.
Aww.
And I didn't post it.
That makes me sad.
Do you know what he did, Dale?
I spent time looking for it.
And then you found it.
And then I found it, and then I changed my mind. So Esther, that's doo-doo baby.
That's even better. It's a hand-delivered gift.
Yeah.
It is.
I was at work on Friday in a very long meeting, and then all of a sudden my phone starts going off with just 1,000 texts from Freddy, who's on a conference call that won't end.
Oh, God.
And he had to poop. And it was all just people struggling to... I don't know.
It was sweating people. It was Amy Poehler like leaning over and holding her knees.
But the best one was like a toilet.
And it said, I love you, Dad.
Coming
out of it, in and out of the toilet. The words were floating in and out of an open toilet.
I didn't understand.
I don't know.
I have a poop story too.
I was trying to have a good meeting, writing things down with my boss.
That's funny. Did you show him?
No.
Or you're like, oh, he is suffering right now. I need to go. You should leave the room. You should have Maya Angelou'd your way out of that one.
Yes.
So while I was still at my job, I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, was this when you texted me? Texted me?
What did I say?
I was like, did he mean to send this to me?
Oh, I don't know.
Go on.
Anyway, I went to use a bathroom.
Yeah.
But I have that same anxiety that your wife has.
Yeah, if somebody else is in there, well, first of all, it's never going to happen in public anyway. But if it has to, if somebody else is in there, get the fuck out.
I'm holding it. I'm not making any sounds. But then this person came in, and he sounded like it was like if a giant gorilla came into the bathroom, and he went into the stall next to me. And first, I'm sorry if this is you, dude, but this was crazy.
There's a giant gorilla out there, really offended.
First, he pissed, and it just sounded like it splat. It was just like it was like the craziest, splatteriest, just like aggressive piss, and he's going he's just like. It sounded like somebody was holding their thumb over part of the hose and just waving it all over the room. So then I was like, oh, at least all he has to do is piss. He'll be out of here in a second.
Yeah.
Well, then it gets quiet for a second. And then all of a sudden I hear him just breathing. He's hard. He's like, and that went on for a long time, and I was real worried about him. Then he got quiet, and then I was more worried about him, and then it smelled weird. And then but then he was just like, I was like, he's never gonna leave. Maybe he's waiting for me to make leave.
Make leave. He's waiting for me to make leave of the water closet.
But
what a queer chap!
I realize that this story is probably not as interesting as I made it sound like it was going to be, but it was just the breathing. I wish you could have been there in the stall with me, everyone.
What if you both came out of the stalls like Laverne and Shirley style, and it was you from the future?
Oh no! It sounded like if Mr. Hyde had to take a shit next to you, the big hulking Mr. Hyde. Yeah, he just sounded like, ugh.
Did you see who it was?
No.
Oh, you didn't do the slit crack?
I didn't. I only know know
crack.
I meant to say slit peak, but
Plus, I only know who 5 people were.
I would never want to know. Just let's all just be anonymous in here.
The smell was too much.
That's when you texted me, and he's like, "This guy will not get out of here. I need to go."
Oh no, that was a different guy.
Oh,
that was a different day and a different guy.
So did his pee smell or something?
No, I think he sat down to take a shit.
Oh, okay.
After he splattered piss all over the room.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It sounded like one of those sprinklers that goes.
Yeah.
That's so funny. One of my old coworkers said she went to the bathroom and she heard this lady get in and her pee was like. It was intermittent.
Yeah.
And she said it was very strong streams then it would stop.
Maybe that lady was trying to keep control it because she knew that her stream was so powerful.
There's the sprinklers that go back and forth
well, yeah, that's what Kelley was.
Yeah. A buddy of mine used to have a real hard piss. I won't say his name, but it sounded like
hard piss Henry.
It sounded like he was pissing nickels into the fucking bowl.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Freddie's got a pretty.
I have a pretty hard piss.
Yeah.
In the morning, especially.
Tell us after the show who it is.
I will.
Do we know?
Initials?
Not really. A couple of you have maybe met him, but you guys don't know him. I don't think at all.
Well,
so it won't be a revelation for you two, but for us,
it'll blow our fucking mind.
You're like, oh my god, that makes sense.
So horrorhoundweekend.com. Make sure you're up to date there on your needs. Patreon, we said that. Anything else?
Some more Stranger Kids things.
Stranger Kids.
Yeah,
Stranger Kids.
Lucas, right?
The black kid is coming.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My favorite from season 2. I have a favorite for both seasons.
Still haven't watched season 2 yet.
Yeah?
I'm late to the party on season 2.
Ooh, we should do an episode about that.
We should. After the Olympics.
Yeah. I'm sorry, the what?
The Olympics.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody. Well, this was fun. We'll be right back.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Hey,
Freddy.
Hi, wife.
Millie update. She's doing okay. She looks pretty chill, but not high.
I checked in on her. She looks pretty relaxed.
She's just watching some Discovery ID.
She's just
I told her I just dropped in to see what condition Millie's condition was in, and she said it's good. And I said good.
Like, do you feel like you could handle a couple of blood draws right now, kiddo? Like a little temp taken and you're up.
So I'm going to stick you with a pen. I just want you to let me know if you feel it.
I'm real worried about her, guys. I just want her to be relaxed. It's just, it would be so easy. We just get in and out. Boom, 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 boom.
Speaking of in and out, The Open House. Netflix original movie. Brand spanking new, just came out this year. A teenager, this is from IMDb, my trusted source, Dylan Minnette, and his mother.
It? The what? I-something?
The Open House.
No, your source for what?
IMDb. It stands for the Internet Movie Database.
Will you email that to me later?
I will.
Thank you.
Teenager Dylan Minnette and his mother, Piercy Dalton, find themselves besieged by threatening forces when they move into a new house. This is, I think, the feature premiere for Matt Angel, written and directed.
Is he a failed magician?
His first non-pornographic film.
He's the Robin to Chris Angel's Batman.
It's the creative team of
guys.
Matt Angel and Suzanne Coote.
Oh,
Angel and Coote. Attorneys at law.
I'm sure you're nice people. It's just funny. You know it's funny. You have to know it's funny, people.
Yeah.
I hope she does a movie with Imogen Poots.
Oh.
Poot and Coot.
Poot and Coot.
Poot Coot movie. We made the same joke. Mind meld. It's like Mind Freak.
Oh, shit.
So this story, I think I'm probably just going to spoil this because
The movie spoiled already.
It was not great.
It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible.
I like the premise actually.
Yeah, the acting was really solid. It was shot well. The problem with this movie is it lacked some storytelling fundamentals, such as foreshadowing. So that when you get to Act 3, something from Act 1 pays off. That's not the situation in this movie, therefore I'm going to spoil it.
It was more like 3 shadowing for them.
It was like 3 shadowing. They came on 1 shot.
2.5.
So
I like that joke.
Thank you.
So gentle.
it is very gentle. It almost doesn't even register.
It's so wholesome.
That's my favorite kind of
Well, I
humor.
just got done talking about like huge amounts of semen.
Yeah. and hard pissing.
Yeah.
Hard pissing.
You got to balance it out.
The new album from Judas Priest, Hard Pissin', available at Coconuts.
Kelly has a lot of layers to his humor. You never know what you're going to get in
never
the Kelly
know.
show.
It's like a box of chocolates.
So this movie hard pissed its way into my heart. No. Okay. This kid's dad is hit by a car in the beginning of the movie.
Killed right in front of him.
Killed right in front of him because they had to go get eggs and milk.
And a loaf of
And a
bread.
loaf of bread, stick of butter. Yeah. Sesame Street. And so they have to sell the house because he didn't prepare very well, like as far as life insurance and all that, to cover this really what I consider to be a pretty elaborate lifestyle they were leading in this huge house. So they're doing an open house where from 9 to 5 every day, people were coming in, strangers, and viewing the house, and they have to be out. He and his mom.
They
out and about.
moved to her sister's mountain house, which they are in the process of trying to sell.
They're trying to sell all the houses?
Okay, see, that didn't play for me.
You didn't. Oh my God, Freddy Morris.
Didn't play for me.
Okay. At the funeral,
How many
her
houses are being
sister-
sold in this movie?
Her sister's like,
2 houses.
I know her sister's aware of the problem, and so it's like, why don't you just stay at our mountain house?
Okay.
We're selling it, so like once a week you're gonna have to
Because
leave
of
while
their
they do the
mountain
open
debt?
house.
Did she always call it Mountain House, like just to like kind of make it seem cooler? Like she's like, you can come over to the Mountain House tonight and watch Big Brother.
Well, it's like up in the mountains.
But I mean, I know that already, probably.
It's extra confusing because
no,
later,
you were not. You clearly were
when
not
the
paying
kid
attention.
meets the
because I
neighbor-
was not paying
Hold
attention.
up.
I was slightly high, and I got that.
But when the kid's talking to
I
the
had a migraine,
neighbor
leave me alone.
later, and the confused neighbor who says, "What are you doing here?" He says, "This is our house."
Yeah.
Our Mountain House.
The sister gave it that for them to
It's
live
not their
in.
house.
I'm gonna invite you over to my suburbs house.
That's the
Freddie,
problem of this
do not
movie.
make me do fanciful married couple bickering with you right
Regardless, they're both selling their
now.
house.
Do not make me.
So there should be 2. It should be called the Open Houses.
No, it has nothing
This
to do
movie
with
should have been
their
called
house.
Scary Realty.
Andy, you saw it.
This is my favorite
He's so
sitcom.
confused.
I love this show.
I hate you. Freddie, it doesn't matter. So anyway,
Apparently it did. Apparently it did.
Freddie just morphed into Jim Belushi to me.
and I am Courtney Thorne-Smith,
Oh, according to Fred.
but from Melrose Place.
yeah.
So according to me, it was their house. And they're selling it because the dad's a
No,
fuck
it
up.
was the sister's house.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you see what? Andy, I need you to back me up. That was pretty fucking clear.
There would be
Thank you.
there
He
would be
nodded.
less
He
of
nodded.
a conflict if this were taken to court over who actually owned the house.
Oh, you guys are fighting over custody of me now?
No,
Yeah.
he can have you.
Ooh!
I want to. He's the fun parent anyway.
Yeah, he is. But guess what? You won't have lunches made, and you won't have a good bath schedule.
But Daddy doesn't molest me.
Oh.
You were asking for it.
But he does molest the other kids. You're just not good enough.
That's the truth. Okay. You guys are horrible people.
That made
All right,
me feel
hurry up.
bad,
This
Kelly.
is a dumb movie.
That hypothetically made me feel bad.
Oh my god, Andy.
Do you
go
like
to a
that I felt
therapist.
just now like I had to say I was just messing? Like, why was that necessary?
Why doesn't he molest me? Am I not pretty enough?
No, you're not. Freddie!
You're a real dysfunctional person. So the kid's a runner, so there's a lot of scenes of him running. Apparently very fast.
Oh, I thought like you meant like he tries to escape all the time.
No, he's just
We got a
running
runner.
for exercise. Nothing exciting like
Got it.
that. And he wakes one morning, the first morning they're staying there, to one of the real estate agent's assistant standing over his bed and reaching out to him. And you're like, why is this guy so creepy, right? He's just there to like show the house. Why is he in this kid's bedroom? There's an example of something that never pays off. Like,
Oh, there's no resolution to that?
no.
They're just like, oh, you should have been up already.
The real estate agent and her assistant are a little weird. And I don't know if that was meant to be like a red herring so that you would think they're the ones fucking with him later in the movie.
And then the neighbor with her dementia, that doesn't really pay off either.
No, yet he hides. The neighbor has Alzheimer's, which they reveal later because she has talked about her husband being both alive and dead.
Ew.
So, like, that could have been a creepy instance, but it really is just a sad story. And then he's hiding kind of like in Lord of the Rings under a log later in the movie when he's being pursued by the killer who has been popping in and out of her house, apparently. He's hiding by a log and she just wanders by behind him. And I'm like, okay, why is he hiding from the friendly neighbor with Alzheimer's when he needs help and he can't call 911? It's not like he thinks she's the killer or something.
Right.
I mean, there was a lot of moments in this movie where I'm just like, the people who made this are clearly smarter than what this movie plays out as because everything else about it's very competent.
Andy, I need to ask if you noticed this as well. So at a certain point, they come home to the mountain house because the sister's like, somebody broke in because I guess the alarm company notified her. They come back to the house and there's like Christmas music playing. They're like the table's set and
there's a phone
candles
in the middle of the table, like an old-fashioned rotary
it's
phone.
like really weird. And they call the police. So the police come and there's two cops. The cop that speaks and actually talks,
Matt Angel,
is the director.
Yeah.
He's got the swoopiest, Hollywoodiest hair.
Yeah.
Did you notice this? And he's supposed to be a cop. And
he
I'm
has
like,
the hair
what
of
cop?
an angel.
Kelly, do you remember your high school hair?
Mm-hmm. We just talked about it earlier.
But like bring it into the 21st century, how it's all gelled and like side shades.
I know
and,
exactly what you mean.
And I'm like, what is this? You can't be a cop in the middle of a mountain town looking like that.
It was
Did you notice that, Andy?
I didn't notice his hair.
Oh my god, it bothered me so bad.
You didn't buy him as a cop because of the hair?
Yeah. The acting was fine.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, no, you should have done something about that hair, put a hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Bothered me.
I didn't notice. I mean, maybe because I like swoopy hair.
The movie was too sleepy and it was too sad.
The mom had a good butt.
Okay.
They showed
Did you
that
get to see it?
in a shower scene, yeah.
Mm.
So that had that going for it.
Sure.
I was definitely in the plus column, right?
Right.
Okay.
Amy would agree.
It
You
was-
even mentioned, you said, ooh. But.
No, I said but, and then I was like, wait. She said like she's talking to her kid, and it's like the scene is the kid's like kind of like talking through the door,
Yeah.
and then mom butt, and I'm like, you guys, that's a weird.
And the reason why they keep showing her in
Shot.
the shower is the water heater keeps being shut off.
Yeah, I don't need a reason. It's fine.
And it gets cold. So there's that. I don't know, man. This movie
it was boring.
Did you spoil it yet?
Oh,
They all die.
Everybody dies. And it's depressing because these people, they've already suffered a ton. And they did, I mean, not that I require my movies to have a morality type of tale, but there's not even a reason And I don't know if that's supposed to make it scarier, that it's like a motiveless killer who decides to sneak into the house during the open house and just kills everybody. But he kills everybody.
Well, I gotta say, like, I'm with you. I don't need a morality thing ever, but like, depending on the kind of movie you're watching, you kind of expect a certain like payoff at the end,
Right.
where there's like a reason you watched it. And like, I guess there are some movies where it's like so elevated and it's definitely going to go to this dark place. Like, I haven't seen Mother yet, but if everyone had died at the end of Mother, like, I'd be like, all right.
Mother's even beyond that concept.
But I'm just saying, like, that, like a Darren Aronofsky or something like that. Okay, but like a Netflix original, you know, horror movie, I expect there to be some kind of not that.
I expect there to be not that too.
Yeah,
It was just like,
Don't know what I do expect, but
Why
not
did we-
that.
yeah.
Why were we here?
Right,
Just to watch these people suffer?
Well, that's what I mean.
Cool.
Like, there needs to be something to keep
Yeah.
you, like, to give you like a reason why you watched it.
And
And,
the- yeah.
and if everybody dies, there should be like you should feel something.
You do feel something. It's sad.
Just
because,
bad.
Well, because the acting is very strong, and when the kid is killed, well, one, he accidentally stabs his mom, which is that classic Descent type scene where
Mhm.
he thinks he's going after the killer, but he accidentally kills his mom.
Yeah.
And then when he is killed, it's horrifying. Like, he's strangled to death alongside this creek. And it's really horrible because you're like, oh, this kid really is freaked out. It plays real. So, like, the craftsmanship that went into making the scenes is great. It's just that there's no connective
The
material between
storytelling
them.
is a little
Right.
So it's
So
like
what-
a home invasion kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, so it is just a regular old killer.
You never even see his face.
You never see his face because he takes the kid's contact lenses out when he has him pinned to the floor.
Or he's in shadows and you never see him.
And you never know why they did what they did.
Nope.
You get a shot at the very end of a car driving down the street, and then it like turns and does a U-ey, and then you see that there's a sign that says open house with an arrow. And you're like, I guess this guy just goes to open houses and kills families. Fun! There was nothing to, what are you,
It is a scary
Wasn't
idea.
Clever.
It is a scary idea, but it needs to be then like, I feel like you need a little bit more
yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Even if you foreshadow by saying, you know, somebody at another open house was killed, that could be enough to throw something like that in the first act. But I don't know if they were originally toying with the idea of, well, clearly the mom suspects the son of playing head games with her. And they have this horrible argument that's also very upsetting where he tells her that he wishes she was the one that died and all that stuff. And they don't resolve that.
And then he kills
And then he kills her accidentally. On top of that, it's just really a bummer.
This is bumming me out just hearing about it.
Yeah, so I don't recommend it. Unless you want, like, feeling bad.
Bleak home invasion.
The house porn aspect is great, though.
It was a nice house.
It's like a great, if you like doing Zillow walkthroughs, virtual tours.
Is this the mountain house you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
the mountain house, not the not mountain house.
No.
The one they own.
They
That's
don't
the
own
one
that.
they
Their
own.
sister owns it.
I think you made that up.
All right, fine. I have a gun.
Oh my gosh, you're the gun. I'm sorry, Amy. You were right. You were right the whole time.
There's a movie bullet in it. Calm down.
Okay.
Mikey B, take this. It's your turn to be shot.
Oh, wait.
Oh, shit!
First chamber.
You movie died.
He's not going to be here next
No,
time.
that's
Is that what you're saying?
it's
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
No, it's 2 weeks from
2
now.
weeks. Yeah,
We're good.
Yes.
We're good.
Oh, I
yeah.
thought today was
It's been a while.
feedback.
Oh, remember that moment?
I forgot about Dre. Mike, you're going to watch this movie. It's called Office.
Okay.
The open office.
Oh.
Google Open Office.
To nab a sales manager who's at large after murdering his family, a detective investigates the man's colleagues who seem to be hiding something.
It's a comedy. Seems comedy-ish.
It might be. I don't know. It's Asian.
Oh, okay.
I hesitate to say I think it's Korean. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It sounds Korean-y.
Yeah.
Oh, how prescient.
Oh, yeah. For the Olympics.
Olympics?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
I can't wait till you review this movie.
Oh, my gosh. All right, everybody.
I'm going to make you feel real uncomfortable.
Well, not me.
Yeah.
You could never make Kelley feel uncomfortable unless you had copious amounts of saliva
Or semen.
or semen. All right. We'll be right back.
This week's main attraction is Amy's pick. Rounding out our series, Mermaids from 1990, directed by 3 directors because Cher fired 2 of them.
Well, hey, Cher's a fucking diva. You leave her alone.
Finally settled on Richard Benjamin.
Oh,
What has he done?
Dick Benny.
He was great. He was in Saturday the 14th.
Dickie Benny.
He's
All
an
about
act.
the
He's mostly known as an actor,
But he's directed some.
but he was in Westworld.
He helped her move. That's why she picked him.
Oh,
No, that could be. Prior to that, Frank Oz had worked on this movie.
Right.
She didn't get along with him.
well.
The original director.
Is it because he was always talking like Miss Piggy?
That might have been it. She didn't get along with the first director, fired him. And the actress that was playing Charlotte originally didn't get along with her, fired her.
Well, how could you have a blonde playing
Ended up with
Cher's
another-
daughter?
Can't put hair dye in.
Who was the actress?
I
Was
knew
it a
at one
nobody?
point. No, but it's almost a historic
Emily
settlement.
Lloyd, right?
Yeah, Emily Lloyd. She
Never heard of
received
her.
$435,000 and 2.5% of the net profits from the
Get
film.
paid, bitch.
She got paid.
She's rolling in that Merms money.
Uh-huh.
I just thought that was fun
All the way to the
background before you get into the meat of it, Amy.
So,
The mermaid meat.
I just remember watching this movie quite a bit. Probably the same way Andy.
It was on HBO all the
Yeah,
time.
that's probably why. I just remember watching it a lot. There was a very iconic moment in my life that I took from this movie. This is going to sound stupid, but I'm going to tell you this story. There's a scene where Winona Ryder is like vigorously washing her face of makeup, and Andy just farted. I hate you so much.
And then she farted.
Andy.
And that's what happened to Amy once.
Yep.
She scrubbed her fart out.
She scrubbed it right out. And I was like, oh, you can do that. No, I was like, oh, you don't have to wash your face very carefully. Like by putting soap on one cheek and then on the other and then on the chin and then on the forehead. No, you can just be like, and wash your face. I'm not kidding. That was a big moment in my life. This is not a joke. It's really stupid.
You should have seen Amy's face wash mine.
I
It
know.
was brilliant.
Yeah.
I felt like she was
Yeah.
really washing her face right now.
Then there was
pretty
that
heavy.
Toni Braxton interview I read once where she's like, I brush my teeth in the shower so I don't make a big old mess. And I'm like, holy fuck, you can do that? And that's why I brush my teeth in the shower now.
Yeah.
So you get all your hygiene tips from pop culture.
Yeah.
I got one of those from who's Pat Sajak's
Vanna White?
Yes. I remember she had a book out and she was talking about how nobody understands that you can use your shower head as a water pick.
You can
Save
use it for
lots
a
of
lot of
money.
things.
Oh.
So now when I'm ever in the shower, I always smile bright at my shower
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, I've
Thanks
done
to
that.
Vanna White. Thanks, Vanna.
How strong is your shower head?
As strong as it needs to
How
be.
deep is your
Strongest.
love?
Toni Braxton's sister was on Starting Over.
Tamar?
hmm
Yeah.
But she called herself Tawanda at the time.
So after you learned about the vigorous face rubbing
Not
wash,
Tamar.
is that how
It's
you've
just
done
easier.
it from now on?
Yeah, you don't have to like very carefully do it. Just close your eyes and go for it.
I remember the first time I saw Amy wash her face, I was like, Jesus. It's getting
not like that.
water was everywhere, soap was everywhere.
I have that reaction whenever I hear you or Andy brush your teeth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
'cause
special treat.
They
I'm
jam,
hardcore.
They jam their toothbrushes back.
You've
their
got
tongue.
you've got to get all the way to the back to those teeth back there. You got to get your tongue clean.
I'm sorry, but you don't need to make this noise.
yeah, you do. If you're not gagging, you're not doing it right.
Like 4 times in a row.
That's what he said.
You'd think eventually the gag reflex would go away, but not on these two.
And Andy's is
Strong.
loudest, though.
It's yes.
We'll keep hoping.
Hey, fresh breath is not easy, Amy.
Whatever. I have to go.
So
to
you
the
still
dentist
wash
next
your
week.
face that way?
Yeah, you just close your eyes and go for it.
Amy's like, I haven't washed my face in 20 years.
All right, so Mermaids. Mermaids is the tale of a single mom. Cher.
Like a mermaid's
Oh.
tail.
A mermaid's tale. Get it?
I get it. Nice.
Single mom. She's got 2 daughters by different men.
Are they?
Well, I think so, yeah. Because the last time Charlotte saw her dad, she was 4.
Oh, I didn't never even put the.
Yeah, they have to be by different men.
So it's a
Think
story of a
the
lovely
Mountain
lady
House?
Mm-hmm.
bringing up
3 very lovely girls.
2
Two.
girls, and she share.
And Rachel Flax, Cher, is kind of like a love 'em and leave 'em type. You know, she gets involved with a dude, doesn't go well, she moves, and they've moved a lot over their lifetime. And
Maybe
Sort of
that's-
like with the directors in this movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe that's why she looks so old, even though she's 31.
so, yeah, Cher's supposed to be 31 in this movie, which is funny.
She was really 44.
Oh, and it's 1963, because Kennedy's assassination comes up in the movie, and so they move around a lot, and they have ended up in this New England town after another bad relationship with a guy, married guy. They end up in this town. Cher meets Bob Hoskins. He's the shoe store owner.
He's investigating a murder.
That too. And he's up and down some pipes with John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Mario.
Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Twin.
I gotcha.
I think until the day he died,
right,
I didn't
that
know
movie.
Hoskins was British, but whatever.
Do we just forgive accents back then? Because that was
his
real
was
weird.
sometimes in and out, and that.
What's
I feel
funny
like I need to go
about-
back and watch Mario now
Yeah.
and see if it does it.
I always thought he was a New Yorker as a
Yeah,
kid.
like
So when I saw this, like to me, that I just never caught that. But you do catch it as an
Yeah.
adult when
Oh,
you
yeah.
know to listen for it. You can hear him wobble.
He just reminded me of his character from Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, I think he did a good job in Roger Rabbit because even as an adult, I don't feel like I've ever been like, oh, there's his Brit.
You have to be looking for it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think so in Mermaids.
You didn't think so?
Mm-mm.
No.
I could notice it wasn't to the extent where Mike was bothered by it, but I could notice it sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just interesting. I was kind of mesmerized by what it was trying to do.
Yeah.
So and then Cher's two kids, Winona Ryder and Christina Ricci, in her very first role.
Adorable, by the way.
Charlotte and Kate. Charlotte, Winona Ryder, is 15. She wants to be a nun. She's super religious, even though, as Cher says, we're Jewish. And then little Kate wants to be like she wants to swim the English Channel one day. She's big into swimming. So
Swim.
and they're sisters, and they have fun. Sisters.
They mermaid
She
around.
wore the dress and I stayed home.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Love that movie. So they move to this town. Cher meets Bob Hoskins. They become lovers.
They
Sharon-
meet the Matt Dillon lookalike.
Yeah,
Sharon
Matt
Bobby
Dillon.
Hose.
Yep. Cher and Bobby Hose. And then the Matt Dillon lookalike, who's the local caretaker, bus driver,
Joe.
whatever guy.
Is this a triangle?
No, well, not really.
Yeah.
So
It's a
Charlotte
quadrangle.
falls in love with Joe, but she's like, these impure thoughts, I can't do this. They make out once, and she thinks she's immaculately conceived a baby because she doesn't really understand, and it's kind of clear that Cher's never had that talk with her.
Also, Cher
a great
encourages
mom.
this whole she's like, you're 15. I think it's time you should have a boyfriend. He's only 26. For
Cher-
real though.
Like Cher, the mom character is very. She's like,
Free spirit.
yeah, like very top line, not detail momming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She's the big picture. She's
Yeah.
not detail oriented.
She's more of a
That's
friend
me.
than a mom.
Yeah, exactly. She all of the cooking she does, air quotes, it's all finger foods. She never
But
makes
they're
real
elaborate finger foods though.
Yeah. Or like on kebabs and
Like marshmallow kebabs and
Yeah.
what else did she do? Like star-shaped sandwiches
Yeah.
On kebabs.
on kebabs.
Everything's very light and fun. There's no depth to some of the relationship, although it's there. I mean, because at a certain point, Cher and Bobby Hose have a fight because he's like, I want to get married. Like, I want this to be. Let's
Wants
get
to
married.
move somewhere. Wants
Yeah.
to move a direction.
And she's like, "You're funny."
Well,
Snap
he
out
falls
of it.
right into being like a really great father
Yeah.
figure for the kids.
They love him, and it's like good. And Cher's like at that point wants to run away.
Right.
Too much.
She suspects he's up to something.
Right.
She doesn't trust him. Well,
I
clearly
think it's her
she-
commitment and
Part of it is she's
I
had
think-
really bad taste in men up until
Well,
now
I
because
think-
they're like
yeah.
married men and stuff.
And she thinks he's using the kids to get to her, and in a way, I think.
Yeah.
Which is where that kind
it's
of a
an
heartbreaking
excuse.
scene where she says they're not yours.
Yeah.
And he's really he loves those kids at that
Yeah.
point when she says that. And
And then
that's
he
like
says-
too much.
I never want to hit a woman as much. What was
Yeah.
the line?
He says, "I never want to hit a woman as much as I do right now." Yeah, as much as I want to hit you right now. I think is
I
what he
love
said.
that line because it's so honest.
But he's restrained. He does not.
he does not
anything.
do it.
Because everybody has those thoughts, right?
Sure.
And so drunk Cher after a costume party starts trying to kiss Matt Dillon lookalike, and Charlotte sees it, and that's her
She does kiss him.
yeah, they do kiss. And Charlotte's like, "You bitch." And Cher's like, "Calm your tits, kid, and eat a marshmallow kebab." And then
She's like, "Oh, it's me. I want to get kissed."
Yep. So there you go. That was
that's
dead
follow-up.
on.
That was good.
Oh, thank you.
Dead on.
She's like,
And then Bobby was like, tones.
"Deal." up. Roger Rabbit, sorry.
Charlotte, to get back at her mom and to like
Sleeps with Bobby Hose.
no, wouldn't that be disgusting?
Oh God.
No, she dresses up in her mom's clothes, put on her mom's makeup, does her hair up like sort of like how Cher has her hair, and goes off and gets her little sister drunk. They both get drunk off wine, and they go off to see the nunnery that's up the street, and they run into Joe, and Joe and Charlotte consummate their relation. While Kate's off, drunk little girl, walking through like the water and looking for rocks and falls in and like nearly drowns and dies, but the nuns save her.
Her drinking
90s
the
movies
wine.
had a lot of that.
Yeah.
Where there's always like a moment where somebody's going to get hurt because somebody's not paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know that once Christina Ricci's character drowns, Cher goes crazy. And she decides that she's going to reopen the camp. And all these counselors come along.
Becomes a legend, though.
And yeah, she's like, "You're too busy messing around. You're a strong swimmer."
But it turns out that Christina Ricci comes back from the dead.
And she's like, "Cute, cute, cute."
Oh my god, it sounds like Cher had a stroke.
Her grief.
It's like half her face is
From
like
the grief.
paralyzed.
Cher is like, "You little bitch. How dare you let that happen?" And then she slaps Charlotte and she's like, "We're moving." Charlotte's like, "I don't wanna." And then they make up and they sort of come to an understanding like our life isn't ideal, but we have each other and we're going to do this. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And
Little Charlotte's okay.
And they end up, you know,
I mean,
everybody
little
lives.
Charlotte. What was the little sister's
Kate.
name?
Everybody
She was
lives
so cute.
happily ever after.
Does Cher and Bobby Hose reconcile?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And everybody's happy in the end, and it's, you know, and then the shoot
I was
shoot
real
song
worried about
starts.
that.
Yeah.
I was real worried
Should've been.
that they weren't going to reconcile.
Yeah.
Because you told me that story about Open House. And it got me in a headspace where everything ends
A
up
bad
horribly.
headspace.
Yeah.
You think everybody's gonna die at the end?
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember if Christina Ricci's character died or not, and I got real anxious.
No, I agree.
Because the
I
scene
knew she
before that,
didn't.
it's so cute. She's drinking wine.
But-
She's sneaking more of it in the background of the scene. Like she's in the background
Like
and we
she
don't
is
write in the
fucking
foreground.
trashed.
It's really, really cute.
That's awesome.
Little trash.
Drunk kids are
child.
hilarious.
They are hilarious.
I don't
you
know.
should never, ever give alcohol to a child.
Yeah, don't do that.
Do not.
But they are
Freddie, when
hilarious.
did you have your
just in
first
case.
drink?
6 years old. My uncle had a habit of getting kids drunk. He thought it was hilarious.
It is hilarious.
So he at a basketball game.
Freddie's a little drunk already.
He gave me a giant beer, like one of the big beers, and I drank the whole thing, and boy, was I a mess. A mess.
I wasn't drunk till I was an adult.
It's like child
It's
abuse.
reckless.
Yeah.
It's not like child
My
abuse.
dad would give me
loved him.
It
My
is
dad would give
child
me
abuse.
sips of beer,
Yeah.
but I never got a whole beer.
I know your
Yeah.
uncle's intent was not child abuse, but that was
He
straight
just
up
thought it was
abuse.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my parents owned a restaurant and they were not responsible, and we had access to the bar.
Ooh, what'd you have? When did you start drinking?
A little bit of everything.
And that's when you knew you were allergic?
Yeah.
Maybe that's was their plan
Did
all
they
along.
know all
knew
Yeah,
three
they
of
knew it was
you
going to be a
We're
self-correcting.
bright red and puking, and they're like, wait a minute.
We were like just pretend play adults, and we just open bottles and pour in like fancy glasses and just pretend like, hey.
Me and Chrissy used to steal and replace it with like water and food coloring. You know, the same
Mhm.
stuff everybody
Yeah.
did.
I used to put ginger ale in a champagne glass flute and pretend it was ginger ale
Yeah.
and be all fancy. And I would make hors d'oeuvres by like chewing up Ritz and spitting it back out on the cracker.
Jesus.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that,
Yeah.
and I told you never to bring it up again.
No, it's real
And then I
gross.
put on a plate and like serve them to my imaginary guests.
Were you wearing a
You're
gown?
a great hostess.
I was.
What were you
Knew it.
wearing?
A gown.
in my mom's heels.
Aw.
And I was playing hostess with my chewed up Ritz crackers.
With the mostest.
It's everything about that's adorable except for where you regurgitated onto the crackers.
I pretended it was pate.
Can I give you some advice about
I
that
get it.
story? Leave that part out.
I think that's the best part.
Is that your editing notes?
My editing notes. Make a doo-doo
From the
pie.
editor.
We're workshopping my childhood right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of childhood, so when we were watching this last night, it had been decades since I've seen this. It really hit me like hard thinking about, because I had a lot of similarities in my childhood. Single mom.
Your mom was Cher too?
Yeah, and she
Oh
was
my
Cher.
God.
She had dark hair. At
She
some
was a
points it
gypsy,
big.
she was a tramp, and a thief.
Ugh,
Yeah.
such a tramp. No, just kidding. single
But
mom.
she was a gypsy and a thief?
Yes.
Was she a half breed?
It's
a song.
Was she a
Calm
dark
down.
lady? Well, I can't think of any other stereotypes.
Half breed.
We moved around a lot until we got to Ohio when I was 12. We moved around a lot. But within miles of where we lived, Florida and Virginia. But yeah.
And
Single mom, moved
I was
around a
working
lot.
as a caretaker at a nunnery when you guys got here.
But Amy's sister
Uh-huh.
actually drowned.
Yeah.
She didn't make it.
And my mom had her gentleman callers. My mom was not a nun, and nor should she have been, and she didn't do anything wrong. But it was, that's different from everybody's life in this room, right? Like everybody else's, nobody had a dating mom in this room, so you don't understand that, and it's different, and it's hard when you're a kid, sure, but then you get the babysitter who makes you watch horror movies when you're 5 and really fucks you up for a long time till you're ready to embrace it. Chantel. That was a bad move, kid.
Thanks, Chantel.
She was Hungarian, though, and her family made a goulash that would fucking knock your goddamn socks off.
Where do you think she is right now?
Yeah,
Probably still in Clearwater, Florida.
You ever think about looking her
She's
up?
probably dead. Hey, Mom, what was her full name? We need to find her.
She's probably on Facebook.
Witherbottom?
Fachaba.
Oh wait, no, that's from Search Party.
Yeah.
Chantal Witherbottom.
Chantal Witherbottom. It just makes you think of, what you went through and how hard childhood could be. But you make it out on the other side and everything's fine. And I love my mom, and no matter what, she fucking knocked it out of the park. Look at me.
We all love your mom. She's a great lady.
She is a great lady. I love your
Amazing
mom.
woman.
It's not an easy thing what she had to do, so.
I couldn't imagine just the idea of dating and being a parent at the same time.
Yeah.
And especially.
Oh, and I was a shit. I probably ruined lots of relationships. No
Yeah.
joke.
Were you a relationship saboteur?
I have no doubt. I can remember throwing fits.
Yeah.
When she was trying to have a go out or something, and I was like, no, I'm a piece of shit, and I refuse to let you have fun.
Can I ask you a question?
She's kind of like that now still.
This is just for an interesting, just because I like to understand people's motivations. Can you remember what your thought process, like what was going on in your head at the time?
I don't know. I was just uncomfortable.
I mean, it's okay if you can't. I just,
I just think I felt uncomfortable with new people, which I still to this day don't like strangers. And I just didn't want my mom to go away. I would say my childhood probably had a lot more uncertainty than some people's.
Sure.
Not to say that mine was worse than yours or anything, but I think just someone's instability sometimes.
Did you know you were doing that? Like, did you know
Yeah.
you knew you were trying to keep her from going on a date so
Yeah.
it would get fucked up?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I totally threw those fits on purpose. But I was at the same time just probably scared. For
No,
whatever
I
reason.
get it. I was
right or wrong, and mostly wrong. I was probably just scared. I didn't want her to go.
I was just curious because you see that happen and you're like,
Yeah.
well, is it like a buried thing or is it deliberate? So
It's interesting though, just to look at how in this movie she didn't ever want to put down what's her name's character, never wanted to put down roots. Rachel never wanted to put down roots because she always knew that the mom was going to move. But then interesting juxtaposition for you is you've been in Ohio now for a long time, and how did the dating mom aspect shape you when you started dating and opening up?
Well, isn't that weird that I married the first dude that
got in there?
Amy, you can say it now.
My mom listens to the show.
my mommy listens to this show?
Yeah, she doesn't know that you guys do that, I guess.
Well, my mom always says that. She's like, I don't know how you learned how to have a relationship from me.
But
it's kind of funny.
You got to watch a lot, so I would
Yeah.
imagine that you got to learn a lot of things during that experience from your mom. I mean, your mom is such an incredible person now when you were going through all of that. But it's interesting just to see where you are now, and I'd just be curious on how
know.
that.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
This
I don't
is
know
Dave-
how I became so perfect and wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
but so full of neuroses that I cannot even leave the house sometimes.
Nobody asked me how heavy metal affected my psychology.
Hey, Freddy. How did it? Titties?
When I was a kid, and I related to this a lot because my dad brought a lock in our home once. And after he melted, shit got real.
Did you guys see that? The Elon Musk, the the Tesla in space looks just like that fucking
Yeah.
the car. That was pretty cool.
I feel like he did that on purpose.
Dudes
Yeah.
love that guy.
He's kind of amazing.
Pretty cool in the beginning of Heavy
I
Metal.
sure hope he doesn't turn out to be a dirtbag.
I'm just saying, dudes love Elon Musk. I thought it was a fragrance.
Yeah.
Me too. Didn't he
Four
just, like,
dudes.
release like a HomeKit version of a flamethrower or something?
Did he?
I think
Yeah, or was that like a joke or something? I don't remember what. I remember hearing about the flamethrower.
so. Right.
Isn't he dating
He's Amber Heard. He's
Amber
dating
Heard? Yeah, good for her, I guess. He's got some money.
Good for Heard.
Heard what?
Heard that.
She sure smells like Elon Musk.
Mm.
Did you guys like this movie? I know Kelly hasn't seen it.
I loved what I heard you guys tell me.
Now you have to watch it.
I will watch
And since
it.
you missed it, you have to read the novel it was based on too.
I don't
I've
want that.
never read
Okay.
that.
You haven't read it?
Is that a joke? Or is that real, Freddy?
It's real. It's based
Oh.
on a
Yeah.
novel. Yeah.
I don't know that I ever want to watch it again.
Is it too close to home or something? Or
I don't know. It was just like really. Maybe I was a little caipirinha drunk, but I was just like, ugh.
That's very emotional for you.
I felt almost at times where I was like, okay.
A little out of control
Done.
emotionally.
But then I am in therapy again, very recently. I'm happy to talk about it. I love talking about
you could
it.
bring up the movie.
And I'm,
should.
I'm dredging it all up, kids. It's all
Yeah.
coming out,
I don't know whose side I was taking on this movie though,
right?
because Cher had her problems, but
She had her share of problems.
Nice.
But then again, I don't think Winona Ryder was the most sympathetic
She's a fucking
character either.
kid.
Yeah,
Right.
but even as a kid, I'm like, oh god.
Are any 15-year-olds sympathetic? I mean, you know what I mean. But like, as long as their needs are taken care of, I don't mean starving 15-year-olds. I
But,
feel
like,
bad.
I haven't. Oh, you go.
There's a point where like, really, you think you're pregnant?
Yeah.
well,
from
here's
a
the
kiss?
She never had the time.
I know, but it was a kind. She
It was
her,
the 60s.
her character was kind of exhausting to me.
I think it's interesting. I have trouble like relating to movies that do reflect my childhood or anything like that because when I see a character doing the dumb things that I did, I immediately sort of hate them.
Well, yeah. I'm like, God damn it! Don't show me
yeah.
what I did.
You got to find that forgiveness for the younger you when you watch a movie like that.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
no,
that's
it's
where
cathartic.
you should get that from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is hard when you see somebody remind you of like things you don't like about yourself.
Yeah.
It's interesting though because we are into patterns. I get into patterns of what we're doing, and then something will pick the scab, and then the scab starts bleeding. And I think what you do with that,
Scabs are gross.
well, they are, but also they can. There's a lot that you can.
I just meant literal scabs.
Yeah,
I like your
I'm not-
metaphorical scab much
Like
better.
sometimes it can only properly heal if you like.
If you open it
Let
up
it
and you put the right
hit the
medication
air.
on it, and
Yeah.
it can hurt and be painful. But the reality of it is like when we look at ourselves now and we look at the shit that we did as a kid, sometimes it's like, you know what, you were doing the best then that you knew how to do under the circumstances of there's no skill set on how to get through life. We just have to, we exercise those muscles, we exercise our empathy, we exercise being a kind person. It's not natural to do that. It's natural to be selfish and self-absorbed, and
Oh, it's very self.
and to be able to have that time and that peace to reflect is just I think that's one of the great things about movies is that they can be an incredible therapeutic tool, and sometimes it hurts to be cathartic, but the reality is sometimes until you squeeze out that
Squeeze the pus out of the
squeeze
pimple.
the pus out, you can't really
Oh,
get
like
that
Freddy's toy that he showed us before.
that loving medication on it. And so I can see why you wouldn't necessarily want to go back to it, but I think that you'll probably be surprised, and there'll be a time in your life when you might want to, and it'll mean something different to you then.
It was just funny because I picked this movie because I was like, oh, it's cute and it's fun and it's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And it is all of those things. But when we watched it this time, I was just like, oh, I forgot how. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, wow. I don't want to think about all that. Not in a bad way. I just didn't want to.
Who's seen Lady Bird?
I saw it. It was really good.
Isn't that sort of in the same line with
it's
this?
a very similar storyline,
Yeah.
whereas it's another coming of age story, but it's
Yeah.
more grounded than this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel Mermaids was very movie-ish,
Well, it's funny when I was watching this. That was the thought I had. I was like,
but Lady Bird is very realistic. It was
Yeah.
kind of almost painfully realistic.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in the early 2000s, which is, I think, the time when we were all coming of age too.
Right.
And
Early
it was
20s, yeah.
it just felt so real.
It is.
Which I hate that, it's so authentic, but it did feel really
Yeah.
authentic, and
Well, I was watching
more grounded
Mermaids,
than this.
and I had the thought, like, a movie like this couldn't be a hit today, but then I remembered, I was like, wait, no, this is exactly the kind of movie that's a big hit right now.
Well,
And I'm
like-
wondering what changed that,
Yeah.
that we're there again.
Well, I think coming of age stories are always timeless, and they're always going to be.
Well, I mean, I'm talking like actually successful at the box office. Like, this movie was a pretty big success.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's that just idea of just the honesty of the film. I think I would have a hard time believing that a teenager today is going to go back and watch Mermaids and be like, "This was a great movie," because the stars that were in the movie, Bob Hoskins and Cher, is probably not as relevant to teenagers today. But the reality of the honesty of the film, I remember sitting in a movie theater and seeing Life as a House or Simon Birch, which a lot of people find are very I don't know, cheesy films now, like getting hit sideways by those because of what they do. And that's just it. It's there's a term for that, and I'm trying to pull it up, but it's just that basic thing that just lays in you, and it's ready and it's waiting to just be kind of ripped off and healed, and so that you can kind of move on and push through some stuff. So it's interesting, the connection to, you're going through therapy right now, you see this movie and you don't really want to go back to it, and that's, I would say, absolutely okay, but it'll be interesting to see where your thoughts lie at the end of next period of your life,
I'm interested to see what you. Yeah, I know you're never going to see it, but I think you should see Lady Bird.
Oi,
Lady Bird.
I'm gonna have to steal some of Millie's Valium. Just kidding.
Feel your feelings, kid.
But I felt this movie. It felt very.
I'm trying.
It was so 90s to me.
Yeah, it was made in
1963.
What's funny is I know exactly what you mean.
It had like a very 90s feel. Like, it was very light. It wasn't. I don't think realistic movies existed back then.
Right. Well, what was interesting is the film almost gives you permission to distance yourself with Winona Ryder's internal voice commentary, which I think is such a...
Oh, yeah, the monologuing.
Yes, because some of those monologues are really, really hilarious. Like, she's just trying to, hold hands with the guy, and she's thinking, I wish he would push me down on the ground and ravage me right here in her mind.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but did this come out before My So-Called Life?
Yeah, this is 90.
Like 4 or 5 years before.
Because this feels like, I feel like My So-Called Life basically just cribbed completely from.
God, I want to punch Angela Chase in the face.
Yeah, me too.
Now, like then, I was like, oh my God, I know.
I wanted to punch her in the face at the time. That's why I didn't watch it. I fucking.
Oh, I love.
You've never wanted to hit a woman more than you want to hit Angela Chase.
I hate indecision.
Well,
even though I can be that way, I hate it in myself. But in teenagers can be so indecisive.
Well, it's true though. Teenagers are dumb.
Well,
they can't make up their mind worth shit.
But sometimes they see things that we're blind to.
And I think that's
why
they
think they've got shit figured out though.
That's why we hate them so much, because we were those kids.
Jordan Catalano was a piece of shit, and that other kid was awesome.
Yeah, Brian Krakow.
Yeah. Just saying. That's why I couldn't watch that show. I think we had this conversation.
Because of Krakow?
Yeah. Well, because I was the Krakow and every other guy was Jordan Catalano.
You're such a Krakow.
Yeah.
Wow, you just really flattered yourself, didn't you?
Flattered him more like.
Freddy's a total Krakow.
I'm a total Krakow.
You're Krakow.
Well, I'm the Ricky.
Oh, you are such a Ricky.
Oh, Ricky.
Oh, Ricky, you're so fun.
Who's the Rayanne in this group?
Mike's the Rayanne.
Mike is a Rayanne.
He is a pretty big slut.
No, he is a free spirit. But he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm flitting off.
Potato. Slut. Free spirit.
You're a slut.
Freaks and Geeks worked much better for me.
I've still never seen that.
It's great.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Much better. So much better. 1,000,000 times better. It couldn't be better than My So-Called
Couldn't
Life.
be betterer.
Couldn't be better.
Can't find a betterer.
But that show had a Catalano too.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same. Like
who was the Catalano?
Did it?
James Franco. He was kind of like the Krakow. Wasn't he?
I didn't see him as a
and
Jordan
she was basically Angela Chase,
but she was better.
Well, the show was.
It was better.
It was. I felt it was different times.
Let's say the word better till it loses all meaning.
She was less. I felt like Angela Chase was just a fucking flake. Linda Cardellini's character.
Which one was Angela Chase?
Claire Danes in My So-Called Life. She was
Angela
the red-haired.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought that's who it was. This one.
Linda Cardellini's character on Freaks and Geeks, much less. I mean, yeah, she definitely was flaky too in any kind of teenager way, but
I think, she was more decisive and not as, a little cunt.
And everyone was charming. Even like James Franco
Eloquently put.
He wasn't just an asshole. Like he was like
He had more like depth than Catalano.
man,
I think Freaks and Geeks had a lot more depth in general.
Revisit it, folks.
Shit's deep.
It is.
Yeah.
Some mermaids.
Merms.
We did it.
It's the first time I actually
some of us.
watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
Because on HBO, it's one of those movies you can jump in at any moment and watch and get a little joy from it.
Little joys.
I feel like
Cher
it
was gorgeous in this.
One of those movies that HBO not only was playing all the time, but also advertising all the time, because that her and the blonde hair and singing "It's in His Kiss" was like, I feel like I've seen that 1,008,000 times.
I remember the
as soon as someone
trailer.
says Mermaids, that pops into my mind like immediately.
Me too. I remember the trailer really vividly. That's why when you said this looks so 90s, like I haven't seen it, but I remember even at the time it had like a very certain. It looked like all the other movies that were kind of out at the time.
And Freddie was talking about the score.
The score is the weak link.
Yeah,
for
it
me.
was very 90s too, like fantastical and very light.
Well,
The soundtrack was great. The score was
like the soundtrack's awesome. The score is not. Even though the score is by somebody who does great work in other films, and it just didn't work in this one because it's not like the kind of movie that should be synth heavy.
It was synthy.
It was too synthy.
It was Cynthia Brady.
Yeah, but I mean, in other movies, like he did An Officer and a Gentleman and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Though it works in those.
That works because she had a lisp.
Yeah, right.
But it just didn't. It was not a good fit for this movie. I think if they could rescore it, it would be more of a classic, probably. And you remember they did a music video too. Did somebody already say that?
The Shoop Shoop song.
They did the music video with the cast.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
what I'm thinking.
that's right.
And I kept expecting to see that happen in the movie, and then I remembered, that didn't actually happen in the movie. They just made the video with the cast for the movie.
They ended that song with like "Make an Ugly Woman Your Wife."
Yeah.
Which was how did that go with the movie?
It was just from that era.
If you wanna be happy for the rest
I
of your life.
know it was from the era, but it just seems like the lyrics are so distinct that it should match up with what's going on in the movie.
I don't know. I do like that. There's that part in that song where it's like, "Man, I saw your wife the other day. She ugly."
I had that on an album. I had that song. My Dingling was on it.
Oh yeah.
Pink Cadillac, or is it Pink or Polka Dot?
Tan hat and tan shoelaces. That song.
Pink Cadillac something like that. Doesn't matter. But yes, I think what you're saying.
He wore tan shoes with pink shoelaces.
Yeah, that song. It was like a bunch of like funny songs like that.
Novelty songs.
Yeah.
So Freddie,
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny.
How's that working out for you? Are you happy for the rest of your life right now?
Oh, he said you're an ugly. What is that cracking
Get
sound?
the fuck out of my house and never come back, bitch.
Oh, you just got Angelude.
You're gorgeous inside and out.
Take your purse and get the fuck out.
Leave purse first.
Yeah.
Purse first.
No, purse last, bitch.
It was just waiting there with that joke and how to take it.
Purse first, ass last.
Well, next week, feedback. Please send your feedback. crew@notlp.com.
Give it
I'm
back.
already ready.
Kelly's ready.
Kelly's ready.
Give us our feedback.
I don't have to do. I can get up later next week.
Woo! Unless
feedback.
major horror news happens.
Also, you can get us at Facebook /NOTLP, Twitter @NOTLP, Instagram Night of the Living Podcast. Next month, the series is going to be Exorcise. We're gonna get physical. Physical.
I just want to keep
We're
saying.
gonna get metaphysical.
We're going to kick it off with Fatal Games, which is an Olympic-themed horror film.
Which is
so prescient again.
It'll be over by then, but yeah.
Yeah. 225. It'll still be going.
Oh, will it?
Mm-hmm. It's on YouTube if you want to play along until somebody figures it out and pulls it down. But that's the only place you can find that one.
Your chirp.
Killer Workout will be the next main attraction after that. We have that on Blu-ray, and we'll give it away to a lucky listener after we're done with it.
We have Killer Workout on glorious Blu-ray.
The resolution, you guys.
Yeah. From the original VHS.
The tracking lines are so clear.
That's right. Then we're going to round it out with, I think, probably the best of the pack, Death Spa, which you can watch on Shudder.
The spa that
if
eats
you want to
people.
play along with that.
And we're going to have a weight loss contest on LTLP.
Cool. That's not fair. Freddie's doing Weight Watcher.
But I'm also cheating on my Weight Watchers
that's true,
a lot.
All right. As always, we have to thank our Beelzebubs at the end of the
We
show.
don't have to, but we want to.
Patreon.com/NOTLP. If you want to be a Beelzebub, that's cool. If you want to be any of the levels, that's cool too. If you don't want to, that's cool. Just tell a friend that has money. Mandy,
Aww.
Zach,
What's up, Zach?
Jer Bear, and Cassie,
Y'all so cute.
Love y'all.
Adam,
Adam.
Brooke,
Hey, girl.
I'm just gonna say the name a second time.
names.
Just say it.
Ernest,
Ernie B.
P.
That's what I said.
You said B.
I said P.
He said a soft P.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did it with fat voice.
Albert.
What up, bro?
Hold on a second. Sorry. We said Albert.
Mm-hmm.
Tree and Alex.
Aww.
Brandon Boone.
Hey, buddy. Buddy Brandon Boo.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Oh, Andy. You make me sick.
We got Bill in New York City.
Bill.
Blake.
I'm sorry, who?
I just said Balake.
You had to go back to Balake
I hate you.
because you corrected yourself with the Blake.
Mark Watts.
We've made that joke many, many times.
Yeah, it's funny every time.
Yeah.
Mikey P.
Hey.
Did you say B or P?
That's a D.
Alice.
Hi, bye.
Commander.
What up, my friend?
And Jimmy B.
What
To
up?
round it out. Thank you all so much for your support of the show. You're beautiful and I love you.
Yeah, we're still holding stable.
Yeah.
Show's not gonna
The
crash and
stables?
burn anytime soon, thanks to you guys.
Stables remain full.
So close to paying off this gear. So close.
All right.
It's real exciting.
Oh, before we kick off, go to our Facebook page. Freddie put a link to that episode of Risk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Brian Higgins did a really great job on Risk. Brian's a friend of the shoe who does Real Change, REEL, like film reel. He does a lot of good work. Good guy. We talked about mental health a lot lately. He's somebody who's really on the front lines.
If you say
mental
it
health
British,
check.
you would say mental.
You
Mental.
mean
I
like-
just realized that the other day. Sometimes our British friends say mental.
They say migraine too, which is
yogurt.
Because I have migraines. I don't know what y'all are talking
Yogurt.
about.
Mm-hmm. I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Well, we ran this. Can we run it any further into the ground? I feel like we could.
I mean, we
Probably
could. Bye.
I feel like we could if we tried real
There's
hard.
some more bagels in there to eat. I got to check on my drugged up dog. So
Ooh, I hope she's on the ceiling. That'd be so fun.
What a feeling.
It was like, who's that guy that sang Dancing on the Ceiling?
Lionel Richie.
Billy Ocean?
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie.
He said it.
Yes.
what did you get? Lioness?
Lion-O.
Linus?
Lionel Itchy. Get that checked out, Lionel.
All right, thanks everybody. Goodbye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed.